Hi there, welcome back to my channel. It's Krista here to do the weekly reading for the sign of Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Aquarius, if you don't already know your Moon and Rising sign, check out the description box for a link to a site called Always Astrology. There you can learn your entire birth chart information. And that way, if for whatever reason this doesn't appeal to you this week, check out your moon and rising sign readings for the week and they might be more helpful. That being said, I do hope that this is appealing to you and resonates with you, my dear Aquarians. So this is for the week of May 16th to May 22nd. It is a general reading. I'll be using 3 decks, the Wisdom of the Oracle Tarot, Healing with the Angels Tarot, and the Medicine Card Tarot. This will be our main deck for the central spread today, a 5-card spread, switching it up a little bit from last week, but I'm really enjoying it. So you'll have to let me know what your favorite is in the comments below. So yeah, as a general reading, whatever is most prominent in your life this week, Aquarius, is what I'll get you to apply any messages that you find helpful or healing here today. So I wish for all my Aquarians success, joy, and wellness. I invoke spirits of love, light, and beauty. I call upon archangels Michael, Gabriel, Metatron, and Uriel to guide this reading in peace, clarity, protection, and wisdom. And I ask Mother Gaia to please bless this reading for Aquarius. So like I said, I'm doing a 5-card spread. There'll be a central position, what you're just coming out of, likely outcome, external or conscious influences, and internal or subconscious influences. And so far, Aquarius, in the central position, which represents you, is the card The Thinker. And yeah, not too vague. I really actually enjoy all the cards that I use for this. One of the main reasons I use them, besides the artwork and the stories they tell, and just the beauty and the substance of the cards, is that they're pretty self-explanatory on their own. So we'll get some other cards here in other positions and look at why there's a lot of thinking going on during the week. This isn't about thinking, what am I going to wear today? Or, you know, where am I going to go eat today? It's not like that. These are always like deep thinking. This is a process, whatever, like I said, in a general manner. So if health or travel or finance or romance, whatever the most prominent issue is for you for the week, this is how you're going to be spending it regarding that issue. So again, the Thinker. And she's literally deep in thought here. She's even a winged fairy and she's grounded. She's sitting, she's not flying, but it's not a dark energy card. It doesn't look like there's anything upsetting here. It just looks as though something has taken you aback. Perhaps something has surprised you a little, that you have to come to terms with something and think about it, ponder it. We'll see what the surrounding cards say, whether this is a possible life-altering, I guess, decision, or I wouldn't say about decision making, but in terms of thinking around a life-altering decision or long-term planning. But anytime there's a great deal of thinking, especially as a central position, this is where all of your energy is going to be tied up this week, Aquarius. So again, as opposed to doing. So if we had a central card, for example, that was, you know, go the distance, just as an example, then I would know automatically that your week would be inundated with activity and action. And I guess thinking is sort of a mental action. It is an activity. It's just happening within. This is something that is going on within you. So to the left, what you're just coming out of, Aquarius, is the Treasure Island card. And Treasure Island is basically that you have everything within. You already have everything you need. And you might even be thinking here, like, you might even have just realized this or come to terms with this and are now like, okay, well, I might be my own worst enemy. I'm the only one holding me back. where do I go from here? You know what's going to make you happy. You know what pleases you. You know what you're good at. Like I said, Treasure Island, yes, there's a chest of gold coins here on the back of a turtle, which holds up the world in varying ancient mythologies. So again, no small potatoes, like it's a big deal. This could even be your world, you're thinking about how you're going to shape your world, or how a new influence will shape your world, or a new thought process, etc. And again, so you're floating, there's two, and we'll look at these up close in just a moment, but there is a nice balance here between, you know, air and water. So yes, the turtle is just above the water, but its feet and its life depends on the water. So this is a really nice opportunity in case there is any sense of imbalance this week, or you're coming out of feeling frazzled or not settled. Pardon me. I think you might feel less that way this week because that's just behind you and you're coming out of that. So you might be a little bit more centered this week. Not that you were unstable or imbalanced, just that there was the air and the water, so two differing elements altogether. But it looks like you've caught your breath. It looks like you've caught up to yourself. You come to terms with what both of these worlds represent for you. And now you're going to process it. Now you're going to spend time thinking about it. And then in the conscious or external influences position, we have the card Fork in the Road. This is always an interesting card no matter where it lands because a lot is going on in this card. Basically, like I said, the language is pretty self-explanatory, but certainly in this position it does mean something different surrounded by these cards. Fork in the road generally means you have a big decision to make. You're at a crossroads, literally. And like I said, we'll take a look at these up close. And you can see for yourself some of the characters in it and some of the representations here. But you know that a big decision lies ahead of you and that you can't afford to wear a mask through this anymore. If you feel like you've been wearing a mask, if you feel like you've had to pretend in any sense, you are, you know, blindingly aware that this is not your cup of tea. You don't want to do this for the long haul. There is a definitive decision that needs to be made here. So it's also, again, from the way that I'm seeing these together, that it is going to force you to have to confront something, but it looks like the week will be spent thinking about perhaps how to confront this, or how to get over this hurdle, or how to come to terms with this decision, etc. So we're just looking for two more cards. We need an internal influence and then a probable outcome card. And like I said, at the end of this central spread here, we will take a card from each of the other decks for additional guidance. So in the internal influence or subconscious position, we have time to go. I think you know in your heart of hearts what you're thinking about doing next. These are so closely interrelated, the fork in the road and the time to go. I think this is just probably one of the easiest readings all week, Aquarius, because it looks like, really simply, you're thinking about everything you have is inside of you. You really don't need to rely on anybody else. It's always good to play nice with other people and to accept help and to be a good partner or a good member of a group, or just a good citizen. But at the same time, you know, for whatever reason, that this is probably over, or the time has come, or it's time to make a move. So I think by the end of the week, around the 22nd, you'll probably figure out that it's time to walk or let individuals know where you stand. And certainly if there's no one else involved in this communication or in this decision at all, this is just about you coming to terms with where you stand. And then in the probable outcome position, we have the clean it up card, and this just means about getting rid of any residual bad feelings, conversations, issues, memberships, even friendships. So let's look at these up close. One by one, we have the thinker card, and like I said, you can see she's a winged being, but she's grounded. She's sitting, and she's kind of sitting just like the famous sculpture, the thinker. So this is taking up her whole week, and she's extremely contemplative and has good reason to do this, or else it would not be in the central position. And again, I just find this so incredibly strong. This is a strong personality reading. There's no upset. There's really no confusion here. This is just about coming to terms with what needs to be done in order to get to the next level. That's what's really that's how it's really looking to me right now, Aquarius. So again, with the recent past, so just what you're coming out of is the treasure island. Like I said, we're looking at polar areas, we're looking at air and then water, we're looking at the treasure on the back of the whole world, if you will. And you know that this is within, you know, you carry this with you no matter what comes, okay? And you know that this is safe with you in an emotional realm, and you know that you're safe in the intellectual realm. And if this is something that you're just coming to terms with recently, I'm really happy for you, because this is a really beautiful place to be. A really lovely place to be in anyone's life is to know exactly what's been holding you back, and 10 to 1, it's been you. I know, unless something physical is holding me back from something, whatever it is, it's usually me. So we have to take ourselves to task for that, and we have to jump those hurdles to get over that. And so I just think that you're coming out of that. This was your lesson just recently, and you're to the point now where, okay, now I know this. Now I have some deep decisions to make. I'm gonna spend some time thinking about how to go about that. So again, in the conscious or external influence card here, you have the fork in the road. And like I said, it's really a deep card, just primarily because of the imagery. So you have varying arrows here. There's so many different ways you can take this, is what it means. This rhesus monkey here on the fork, literal fork in the road, is wearing a mask. And I bring this up because it's important to remember not to be manipulative or to trick people or to try to get one up on people in order to get what you think you couldn't get without doing that. I would say trust yourself and trust your peer groups and your friends and relationships enough to be really straightforward. I don't think it's going to be an issue for an Aquarian personality. If you are holding back at all, it could be because you don't want to hurt somebody else or let someone else down. I really don't think it's stemming, if this is at all going on, I really don't feel at all that it's coming from a place of manipulation. I think it's going to act like manipulation if this occurs, but I don't think it's coming from that place. So try to avoid this, to be really upfront with people. And again, this could be why you're putting things off, long-term decisions off, or having those conversations off. And I would recommend you do that while you take the time to come to terms perhaps with how you're going to even say it or bring it about to spare someone's feelings or to get what you want, still be honest, but be compassionate and kind in doing that. Oh, and quickly I wanted to point out that there is a little barn owl here on the back. And anytime I see owls, this always represents to me that there is something going on in something hidden, okay? So owls are nocturnal, so basically anything that you can already relate to the nocturnal world. Hidden secrets, women, femininity, the dark, the underworld, the occult, this type of thing. It could be any one of those things, it could be all those things. And again, this could, in the larger scale, not even be an effect at all for all Aquarians this week. I just wanted to bring it up because it could appeal to some Aquarians this week. And then briefly, right in the back, we have this beautiful lit up atmosphere. So what you're going into, what you are thinking about, and how you're about to proceed, I don't think you can make a wrong move right now, Aquarius. I think whatever is best for you, if you're honest with yourself and true to yourself and refuse to hold yourself back, I think is going to be best for you. And I say that because subconsciously or in internal influences is that you, I think, deep inside already know the answer. Time to go is in the internal influence position. This literally just means it's time to let go. If you're holding on to anything, bad feelings, or even habits, or time to let go, I'm saying, for example, could even just be a time to let go of fears, whether, you know, some of them are irrational, yeah, but sometimes we have legitimate fears, and perhaps this is where some of the energy is going to go this week. You can even tell there's a relationship between the colors here, between these two cards. In fact, they're the same colors found in the clean it up card and the probable outcome. So I am going to hold this up with these as well, that you'll see here with the clean it up. So basically, this is a general energy here. You're going to, you know what has to be done. You're really confident about it. It's about making that decision for yourself and just sticking to it, but knowing, I think if you are insecure about it, I wouldn't be. I think it's going to be the best for you. And if you're not insecure about it, I would think about how to just bring that into the manifest world. And again, with the probable outcome card, we have clean it up. So these are generally speaking to each other, and these are all in relation together. So again, time to go, thinker, and then clean it up. So this is basically about you letting go of any residual energy from what you've just come out of, and then remember the words. And I have to say that, remind myself of this frequently, because when your life changes, when you choose to change your life, or when you choose a different position for yourself, or lifestyle, or even pleasure or habit or hobby, you know, what you find is that sometimes not everyone you've ever known follows you. And it could even be, you know, saying goodbye to certain things that were pleasurable, or, you know, that you can rely on, or that you, even I would say take for granted. So you might even find that that's an element this week that you're like, oh, I didn't realize, you know, how important that was until I had to really think about it. And now, because of this decision I'm making, I have to let it go, and it's more precious than I thought. Or vice versa. You're like, oh, I'm so ready to let this go. Even though it's precious and it worked for me at the time, I'm a different person now and I'm ready to. So that's all that means. Just basically letting go of old baggage, but knowing you're doing the right thing for yourself. You have a lot of, an enormous amount of internal strength here, Aquarius. So that's lovely. Again, not entirely surprised, to be honest. Aquarius is a very strong egoed card. You are Leo's opposite. So brilliant. Okay, so what jumped out of the Healing with the Angels Tarot, like I said, is this surrender and release card. This is really beautiful in terms of the reading as well, because I think if you are able to let go of those things, I kind of want this one here. If you're able to let go of these things, I think these are going to act together. The surrender and release, and then the clean it up. It acts the same way. If you don't feel like there's any mental, psychological, emotional, etc. Items to clean up, or conversations or what have you, then you can try this area, which acts the same way, which is to surrender to the highest good and release all negativity or worry. Okay? I'm not nervous or anything that you're not going to be practicing that this week, Aquarius. I just feel like it might even be helpful this week to be reminded of that, or to feel settled in it. Like, oh, okay, this is my true power. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm really confident with this. I just have some old ends to tie up. And I'm going to surrender all worry to the highest good. Okay? While you release any fear, or any doubt, or hesitation, whatever that acts like in your world this week, Aquarius. So surrender and release. And then we're just going to look for one more jumper card from the Medicine Tarot. Right. So we have the Hawk, and this is Messenger. So I normally read this two ways. Messenger could be that you are going to receive messages that come out of nowhere, that you didn't expect, that are incredibly powerful for you this week. They could come in the most unusual manner, which could include overhearing someone in a lineup, or someone addressing you out of the blue that you've never met before and talking about something that is deeply interesting to you. On the other hand, and if that's the case, like heed that conversation. It's really important to you this week. Also, in relation to heeding messages that come your way without seeking them, I would look, pay extra attention to, say, music, news, language in news or broadcasts, or especially if you're on social media a lot, like you'll get a lot of feeds. So just pay extra special attention there. There could be something that piques your interest that helps you along at some stage of this. And of course, the other way to read that is that you're the messenger, and that this whole point is that you need to get to the next level. This is all part and parcel of the entire process for you to get to the next level, because you yourself are the messenger. And I really hope that's true, because Aquarians are eternally interesting. So Aquarius, I really hope that you enjoyed the reading today. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe and share the video if you enjoyed it. I'm hoping that it was helpful and healing on some level for you. Please do take care of yourself in the meantime, and I will see you next week for your next weekly reading. Bye for now.